Okay, there we go. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the StarLadder StarSeries Season 14 presented by iLeague. My name is Blue. I will be your host for this one set that we have for you this evening, which is going to be between Titan and the team that we had filling in for SK here at StarSeries, which is going to be GreyFace / Team Kappa. They played off against TSM, and obviously to no one's surprise, they ended up going 0-2 in that matchup. But I think they actually put up a pretty good fight, to be completely honest. They did a lot better than I think certain people were expecting in that matchup. So not too surprising, of course, to see them dropping it, but surprising us a little bit with their overall performance. So we'll see how they do once again here in this matchup today. They're going to be taking on Titan once again. It should be noted, of course, that because of what I think was a travel issue for Smiths, currently Smiths is not going to be able to play for the Titan roster here in this matchup, so filling in for him is going to be Younes, who is a Belgian player who currently plays for Team Platinum. Beyond that, however, I do not know too much about him. But we're live on the pistol round here, and RpK is already going crazy there, picking up 2 headshots before Kabom gets a head-on nade shot there and is going to be able to finish him off. But like we said already, the damage has been done with him picking up those 2 kills, so that's going to stop the push coming onto the B site. The rest of the players now for Team GreyFace, they're going to end up falling back and solidifying themselves back over here towards mid, but Titan, they're going to want to try and stop that, and there's Scream picking up 1 kill over here on a Jumpy. shox looking for more, but it's going to be Scream that steals it away from him again as he finds now 2 kills, and now Younes has the final player back over here, BARBARR, who's going to be forced back down long, and meeting him just outside of that is going to be shox in a second here, so we'll see if he shuts it down, and no, not just yet. We're going to finish things off now. Come on. There we go. That's going to force him back, but he's actually just going to hide a little bit here. He does manage to pop out. He's going to be another kill, so wouldn't call this one out just as of yet. Unfortunately, he doesn't have bomb control, but he's going to pick up the second kill, and he gets the third. So he's actually going to upset the pistol round. He grabs the 4K, and that's going to be GreyFace starting things off here in the first pistol round. They pick it up, and they're going to start off 1-0 here now. So bit of a turnaround. There's some really well-played pistol play from BARBARR there, actually tricking him out and playing all around that long door, but now they're going to be able to pick that one up, and they're going to go right into their bye here for the second round. We can already see the 2 upgrades coming up. There's a small pause ping issue, I do believe, so that should be resolved in just a second. Yeah, SKYTTEN is getting a little bit high up there, so we're going to have to wait a second on him, but hopefully that should be solved without any further issues, and then we'll get right back into it. But that's definitely a little bit unexpected there as they pick that one up. Now, of course, they're going to be able to grow up on this. Titan, we'll see from them if they try to go for their pistol armor buy-up or whether they'll sit back, but Titan, they're a little bit overly aggressive. We're actually a little bit overly, trying to think of the word for that. Overconfident, I think, would be the better word for that. And they kind of line up for the shots for BARBARR to finish off. He picks up the 1 kill, and the final 2 just get themselves right in the way, so BARBARR is able to finish those guys off, and he comes out in the clutch for himself and the rest of his team there. So that's going to be a little bit of a round the members of GreyFace will be able to escape with. You didn't get a chance to go over the maps, by the way, so obviously this one here first is going to be played over on Dust 2. After this one, we'll jump onto our second map, which is going to be back over on Train. And then the third map, which was randomized, is going to be over on Overpass if we do need to play out that third map. The bans, in case you guys do care about that. GreyFace had their first choice. They managed to remove Inferno. Then Titan got theirs. They took out Cash. GreyFace then got their opportunity again. They took out Cobblestone. And the final ban came from Titan, which removed Mirage. So here we go, unpause, and we're right back into the match, folks, and for GreyFace, they're going to make a quick attempt to work their way inside of the B tunnels, and they'll work their way out into the site very fast as well. Titan just not ready for this at all, but Existence coming back in there. There's going to be a Wandeek shot from him, shuts down Jumpy, Screen popping, and he gets a 1 little headshot there, looking for a second. He's going to find it without the scope. Finally, pauf shutting him down, but now he's caught out in the middle of these players here from Titan, so shox is going to be able to shut him down. BARBARR's still coming in. He's got to come out in the clutch again, but they drop down. He does get dinked, but he picks up 1 more kill, looking for another one here. And Existence gets the jumping scout to finish it off, so Titan strike right back, and now we're having an even ball game here, tying things up at 1-1. And well, that last round gets erased very, very quickly indeed. So GreyFace, they're going to go for the Tech 9 armor buy-ups here, as they'll be able to go for their next big buys indeed. And Scream just goes absolutely crazy, along with Existence there to very quickly stop that push from GreyFace. It seemed like they had it too. They just waltzed right into the site looking great, but then Existence and Scream get their chance to shoot the guns, and well, obviously things don't go very well there. And already you have Existence picking up an additional kill and another one as he shuts down Jumpy and BARBARR right at the beginning of this round, already knocking out 2 of the players here and killing 2 of the players with armor too, as they all went for those armor buy-ups. So that's a lot of money that just goes by the wayside at this point. pauf trying to sneak his way over here through the long doors to pop out, but that player that is playing long for the CT side manages to get himself out of harm's way. So the Existence along with Younes picking up 2 kills, and now RpK is going to be the final player left alive. not the final player, I apologize. Kabom is going to be the final player left right here, trying to get a kill on the members of Titan. And in comes RpK to finish him off. He's going to run out of ammo there on the Deagle, so he has to swap out. Tries to take the knife duel, but doesn't look like RpK is going to be too fond of having a 1 versus 1 knife duel. So Titan kind of just walk over that net round right there. Unfortunately, GreyFace not able to put up too much of a fight that time, so Titan is going to take the lead off of this. Starting to upgrade the guns, but obviously GreyFace, with them trying to go for the buy to make up for that second round loss, of course, they're going to have to go onto a full save this time. Nothing being bought at all, just their default pistols, as you can see. No utility, no armor, anything of that sort. So again, it should be an easy one for Titan to clean up. And there we go, there's 2 kills already for shox as he just pushes right up there. And then switches to the Tech 9. A little bit over aggressive as BARBARR is going to manage to pop out, but now RpK comes at the party. He's going to pick up a kill. Younes managed to steal 1 away over there with his P250, but RpK comes in with the final one, and now we should be able to head into the first gun round here. And we'll see the upgrades coming out from Titan as well here. Existence still with the Scout. I imagine he might actually just keep it here to try to save a little bit of cash, but 8,900, maybe pressing a little bit. Nope, looks like he's going to keep the Scout in his arsenal for the time being, so he's still going to work with this. Everybody else on a rifle at this point too. A Galil on shox, but again, that's just going to save them even more money, which the CT side can be fairly fickle. So saving it and then losing the round is going to be the worst thing that we'll hear, because they can just buy up right after this. And shox going to get super aggressive very early on in this round. He picks up a frag. He's going to be stuck on Cat, gets some good damage, and I think he dinks somebody else. He's going to bring BARBARR down to about 12 HP, but pauf nonetheless will pick up the kill over onto him. Now this does give Titan a whole lot of intel though, so Scream's actually going to move into the top area of the tunnels. I'm trying to catch Wheaton out in the open. And as the rest of the players from GreyFace sort of solidify themselves back over here towards middle, RpK gonna start to push over here towards the long doors just a little bit more. Scream in the meantime, picking up that kill over there from the top tunnels. Wheaton pushes a little bit too far into him. And that's going to be another frag for the members of Titan at this point as they slowly reduce it. GreyFace trying to make a move over here to get themselves a little bit closer to one of these sites, but map control seems to be a little bit of a problem for these guys right now, just in trying to find a safe spot to push in. They haven't really been able to move out or investigate a lot of the areas of the map previously, so it's a very skittish thing that they're working against right now, where their chosen path, which for the most part here seems like it's just going to be going over here up on the Cat. It's going to run them right into the face of the op over here on Youns, so we'll see how well he's able to stop this. Mistimes it a little bit, so not going to be able to connect the first shot, but they'll jump down once again for the response. They do allow Jumpy to get down, but that's easily handled by RpK. Bar's out in the open. Pauf is going to pick up that headshot there onto RpK, basically a one-tap, but finally Younes gets a shot. Looking for the final one. He's going to drop the pauf, but pauf into 1-on-2 now. We'll see as the jump comes out from Existence. Existence actually going to get completely destroyed by pauf. And now it's just him versus Scream. Scream popping out, but Scream, of course, comes out in the clutch and is going to shut things down there. He does take down pauf. And that's a good move from pauf, of course, because prior to that, it was looking like Titan were just going to shut it down. And economically speaking, we're going to escape that round with minimal damage done to themselves. But with pauf picking up all those kills, that's still a good economical round. They don't get the plan, unfortunately, so they're going to have to go into another save here. But at the very least, they do a good job of getting all these deaths. You can see the money over here on the side of Titan gets reduced down by a pretty big margin due to that when they were looking at a couple players sitting at around 8 or 9k before. So that brings it down to a little bit more of a manageable amount. Big problem is going to be doing that damage once again here on an eco round, which obviously is going to be a problem in itself, which should speak for itself. And we can already see here too some damage being done to these guys. pauf has gone down. Kabom is down to 57 HP. RpK just takes the duel with these players through the long doors, takes down T before BARBARR gets the trade over onto him. But BARBARR's already taking some damage, and now Younes is going to get right in here. He's got the op. That's going to be a shot right to the neck onto BARBARR to take him down. Now it's just Wheaton back over here. He's going to be able to pick up a kill over onto Existence, but as we can see, shox jumping down. They already know where he is. They've got him cornered, and here comes Scream to finish things off. That'll be another round going by the way of Titan at this point. 2 kills, but not a whole lot of movement on the map. And again, no plant coming out here from GreyFace, which, keep in mind, they haven't gotten a plant with the exception of maybe round number 1, but I think they executed anyway, and it wouldn't have mattered in that case because they won out the round anyway. Ever since they've been losing, they have not only been not able to win one of these rounds, but they haven't been able to get a plant as of yet either, which becomes very problematic in terms of trying to build up the economy on the T side. You can infinitely continue to buy those guns and kind of stretch yourself a little bit on the money. But that's only if, great shot from BARBARR by the way, that's only if you can really consistently get the plants going through yourself, which right now GreyFace has not been able to do this. They've been denied like right from the get-go here, and Titan hasn't allowed them to get onto the site to get that plant. So considering that, that's obviously going to hurt the money and its ability to stack up a little bit here, and this continuous ability for GreyFace to buy up time and time again. They can still do it, but it's going to be into a little bit of a ludicrous area here in terms of their, in terms of what they overall, in terms of what they stack up, in terms of their utility stats. So that's going to hurt a little bit. BARBARR though, good impatient. He picks up 1 shot. Finally, shox gonna be able to find the trade, as we also see the double op setup this time on the CTs. Didn't actually go over that just as of yet, but thankfully GreyFace has done a good amount of damage here. Now they're gonna work their way up onto the site. Younes getting a nice flick there, but unfortunately a little bit over aggressive. He misses that shot on a kaboom, And now pauf also going to be able to pick up another frag over here onto shox. So that takes him down. Just on RpK at this point, way over towards long. He's going to try to stop the bomb from being planted, but that's not even the player going for it. Gets smoked off. With 13 HP, he's actually just going to choose to go for it, and that'll be a very swift death indeed. Kabulm is going to be able to take him down. GreyFace rack up another round onto the board here. And for Titan, I do believe they'll be able to buy through at least one more round, as we see the vibes coming out from these players now. Youns over here, as we take a look at him, he'll still be going for the op, and I believe he's going to be the designated opera here, filling in for Smiths. But the rest of the team, armed up with rifles, not a bad amount of utility sitting behind it either. You've got 2 mollies in the team. Pretty much everybody's got a smoke to work with, so still a whole lot to get against here. And GreyFace are not in the clear distance of yet, but Huiten with a good opener here. He's going to be able to drop RpK, so that takes him down. The rest of the team working their way out towards long once again. Not a whole lot of resistance from Titan just as of yet, and pauf screwing around with the B side a little bit here too. They're going to keep a bar back over there just to watch out for a mid push, but he actually shifts away from it, probably at a pretty bad time, because now shox is pushing up. Youns having some good luck over there by the car position too, as he's going to be able to drop Huiten, but now BARBARR shifting in. He's going to be able to drop a player. Good thing too, because that could have done a whole lot of damage had he have been unmaintained and if shox just pushed through the long doors and gotten that flank. But he's there, and he's there to watch specifically for something like that, so BARBARR will be able to manage that very easily. Now they line up for the long push. The problem though with them grabbing all these kills back over here towards the long doors is that it's very obvious the push is coming. However, Younes getting very over-aggressive there, jumping up and down, so BARBARR is going to find a nice and easy frag in that area of the map. And we can see, too, that you've got pauf sort of sneaking around these guys right there. You should be able to spot Scream, and there's going to be an easy pickup now for the T's once again. Slowly surrounding everybody on Titan. It all falls to existence at this point. Gets his one spray now, but uses a lot of ammo, so he's got to fall back to get this reload out here. Looking for another one on a Kabulm, but he's way out in the open again, and BARBARR lines up the op shot. Finishes him down. That's a great one from BARBARR, to be honest, there. Playing in that back position there, shutting down some very crucial players. Shuts down someone who was going to be opening up a flank against them. Shuts down somebody who had the car position and was getting intel, along with having the op back over in that car spot, which can be a little bit pesky to deal with if you're not mindful of it, and then finishes off the final player as well. So a lot of impact frags coming out there from BARBARR that round, along with the 3K in itself. This is going to completely break Titan, so we could probably put GreyFace within just about one round here of tying things up at this point, as now we just have to see how many times they're going to have to save. Looking at this amount of money, though, should only be saving this one time. Probably not going to end up being a double save, so this round, of course, will be one that'll probably just be washed, as we can already see GreyFace starting to stack up the kills, while Huiten and Jumpy are going to end up going down a distance. Does manage to sneak through, and he gets one kill here, but Jumpy's up on top middle. There to trade it out already. How long Younes is going to pop out. Manages to dink Jumpy down to 3 HP, and he's going to finish him off, too. And that's a clear area. pauf is going to rotate in, though. Gets a little bit more of an assist in there as he shuts down Younes. And now it's just going to be Scream after line as the final player, who will also be eliminated by Kabulm. Almost a team ace. Unfortunately, BARBARR is not going to be able to... BARBARR is not going to be able to pick up an additional kill there, so he will be missing out on that opportunity. But Titan, of course, go right back into another buy. No op, unfortunately, this time being brought over onto Younes, as the money's not really in that secure of a position just as of yet, but they're going to be able to go up for a buy, and now we'll see what they do from this point forward here. As they're going to actually get a little bit aggressive on long. They'll run into the opponent at this point, but BARBARR actually decides to fall back a little more, not going to directly contest them. That's going to be a two-man push, a little bit hard for him to deal with, especially with an op that would have to come out in the clutch in a very big way, so he decides to fall back for the time being. And overall, GreyFace just sitting back. They do make a little bit more pressure trying to push over through middle, but shox is going to handle one of them. Jumpy trades it out, but Jumpy actually decides to fall back just in case there, and now is going to work his way inside of the tunnels instead to watch out for a flank from that direction. GreyFace, again, very, very slow map progress. This is something that has been hindering them a little bit in terms of their overall strategies. The fact that it can work out great if Titan tries to play it aggressive, which in this sort of situation, there's not a reason why they wouldn't want to do that, considering they do have the overarching sort of reputation over this team, but still, GreyFace sit back for too long. The problem is they run the timer down. They haven't really investigated what's going on choking areas of the map, like on long, like on the A site on the platform itself. So, obviously, again, as they now try to work their way out over here onto long with that timer getting a little bit lower, RpK is going to be able to manage these players, and now they have even less assets to push forward with. The bomb is going to get picked up now by BARBARR, but they leave it in a 2-on-4. Titan a little bit spread out, but overall seem to have their players in the good position if we do still decide to see the members of GreyFace pushing in towards an A site push. But they're going to switch that up a little bit more now, working their way through middle. This could just be a direct push over here through middle and then working its way on the B site. It's going to hurt a little bit just because of the fact that they don't have anybody working in through tunnels, so Existence should be able to catch this. And so long as like one doesn't work his way in through both the door along with the window area, then they should be able to manage it. But now we're actually going to see Younes popping down after a kill's picked up, and Younes in Existence will be able to just manage that very easily. Not a whole lot of time was left on the clock anyway, so basically GreyFace had to run on there, hope to God that they could get the plan and find that entry onto the B site, but wasn't meant to be, as we said before. Too much time being taken, and they didn't really explore the map all of enough there, so they weren't really able to pick up all that much. In GreyFace, they will be losing that round here, and Titan will bounce themselves right back into this matchup. Existence actually going to pick up the op this time instead of Younes. But as he presses forward, he does have a little bit of a smoke to support him. But BARBARR, they're taking those shots. Existence does decide to fall back, just to play it safe for the time being. There's a little bit more of a presence from Middle this time. You'll note too from Titan, and there we go. There's Existence picking up the op shot here over onto Jumpy. And now the rest of GreyFace lineup to do this mid to B split, or what is potentially going to be a mid to B split. They need a little bit more support in middle because shox is going to be waiting for this, and this could drop the bomb. So may just end up going through the tunnels as they just try to play around with it a little bit more. It hasn't been solidified on that just as of yet. Early splitting themselves up, looking for picks if they can try to find them. And over here on Titan as well, RpK playing right up into that door again. He is going to reveal himself, but nothing really being found there by the CTs at this point. So GreyFace is only going to find out that, hey, there's somebody playing close up on long doors, so it might not be the best idea to just walk right out there. And shox, as we take a look at him once again, smoked off at this point, so the members of GreyFace is able to play around, but some good patience there finally pays off for GreyFace. This is the strat they've been playing for, and this is the sort of thing they've been wanting to get out of this strat, is this over-aggression from Titan, and now they're going to find it once again. So they get a trade from the earlier kill. Kaboom, also waiting out here, pays off great. Now they can work together here. They can all solidify themselves and make a good push on the cat. It's going to be a default A, and here they go. They're just going to work their way in. shox has to quickly rotate. He's going to be in a little bit of an awkward position, but necessarily he will be here to actually try and stop this. BARBARR just rolls right up. He's going to pick up one kill. Younes, meanwhile, back over here, played up a little bit further on long. He's going to pick up one kill, but brings his health pool so low that SKYTTEN is able to trade that right back out. He's going to find another frag. With 8 seconds left, we'll see the plant coming in, but it's just going to be on Existence. Catches one pauf, is going to be a little bit too far out into the open. Looking for those final two at this point as well. Keep in mind, BARBARR still with that op, going to be very hard to work for this, especially with no flashes or anything. SKYTTEN pops out and challenges him, and BARBARR is going to be able to pick up the headshot there to end the round. So GreyFace strike right back up to 5-6, keeping things very, very close at this point. And Titan are nowhere near being in the clear just as of yet here. As obviously, again, GreyFace are putting up a fairly potent T side at this point. And we'll see their economy broken here as well now. Back down to square one as far as the buys are concerned. GreyFace back up to square infinity as they've got the AKs. Utility might still be a little bit lapsed as we look at a couple missing flashbangs here or there, but in terms of the essentials and getting what they need into the mixer in order to work a take, they've got everything. So they're going to play this somewhat held back strat once again from there. You can see SKYTTEN getting himself into a little bit of a trade as he takes down shox. His teammate will take the position there as well, as there was still youns in play, but obviously, again, not wanting to directly challenge it with him getting dinked down at 26, so he's going to have to watch out for that. So he falls back. He leaves pauf to do the job for him. They do move RpK up there so he can scavenge the P250 at least, as I believe he was sitting on a default pistol, but this movement has left them unaware as regards to what is actually happening back over here, along with 3 players pushing in. They won't be ready for this. They're going to be out of position. Jumpy already picking up 2 more kills there. Younes is back up on top. He's doing a decent amount of damage, as you can see here, trying to finish off some of these players. There we go. He's going to grab one, and look at the damage. He's injured so many more of them. Really only one shot away. Finally, pauf guns in with a flank and is going to be able to shut it down, but pauf really now only the only player that's really at a secure amount of HP. The rest of these guys, both SKYTTEN, Kaboom, along with BARBARR, all kind of going to have to sit back and not look out for these, not look out for this final player. That'll be the job of pauf, if anybody, if even he decides to go out and do it, just because of the fact that they're only 1 to 2 shots away on the pistol there from being eliminated, and that's not really some odds you want to take, even if you are going up against somebody who really doesn't have any health, armor, or guns for the most part here, which would be Scream. So Scream actually, I think, realizes this too, so he's going to look forward, get himself into a little bit more of an aggressive position, but as we can see, the overall spotting of this not favoring Scream at all, or really Titan at this point, so GreyFace are going to be able to pick this up. I don't think pauf is going to find Scream, but it's not too big of a deal anyway. You can actually see Scream's pretty smart about this. He tries to walk in and see if he can grab some extra guns, but the time is not going to work out in his favor, so he's not going to be able to grab anything there at the end of it. We'll be seeing the buy-up come out for the members of Titan here anyway, just because they're keeping such a close quarters matchup, so going for the double save would obviously yield the advantage here to the T's, which is not something they want to do, especially with this roster still being, obviously the players aren't unknown, but with the roster in itself being a little bit more unknown and them not really knowing what exactly the strats are going to be for this team. Letting them take an advantage I don't think is going to be the best plan here, but we're going to see a great pop flash coming out from the members of Titan. Scream's able to push forward. It completely blinds the T's, but unfortunately it's not utilized as well as they would have liked it to be. Nonetheless, the CTs do hold good control of this one. Jumpy's looking for that trade back over onto Existence, but he's going to fall back there, keeps himself alive for the time being, and now in comes shox. But again, it's only a 1-for-1 trade. I don't think they're expecting to be this heavy of a presence in here at this point, so GreyFace finds the trade almost every time. Now youns coming back in. Now he's going to be able to find Kaboom. BARBARR finding the op shot, but unfortunately caught with a nade out. RpK is going to be able to pressure in there, finish that off in a 2-on-1 scenario, and Titan retake the lead once again. Getting free double op set up for their treble, so that will get worked here once again. Shox picking that up at this point, but getting tossed over to Younes at the end of the day, as he was brought in specifically for this purpose. Existence going to be able to donate some guns over. And overall now Titan, though the money is still a little bit close, and SKYTTEN with a little bit of some team damage there coming out on a Jumpy. We're still going to see the buyout coming out from the members of GreyFace, of course, but now they're going to be on the edge. Both teams, essentially, if a loss here for the most part is going to mean an eco for either side, so they're going to have to be very, very, very careful about this one. And I imagine we'll see a lot slower, methodical play coming out from both teams due to this. But surprisingly, at least just looking at the positions here earlier on from GreyFace, they're actually pressing forward a little bit more than we were seeing previously. Like, SKYTTEN is already investigating things back over here on the cat push over to the A site. You've actually had Kévin, who previously was only really sitting like outside the doors over here, is now actually shifting himself inside of the corridor, watching out for a push for that regard, trying to grab some of these kills earlier on. And there's a couple other examples of this one too. The bomb's pressed up, they're already sort of getting ready for that cat push, or at the very least getting ready to shift it over through middle or into the tunnels in case they decide to do a mid to B split once again. But there's a little bit more forward this time to try and catch some of those kills. I'm imagining at an earlier point in time, but a great flash from RpK. However, pauf is here to assist, so that's going to hold him back. And pauf's going to be able to pick up the headshot there. They take a little bit of heat in the process, but they manage it very well. And now long has been opened up. We're not expecting youns to be here. However, youns misses his opening shot. Gets a dink on the second one, but it's not going to be enough. BARBARR down to 2 HP, so he just barely survives this encounter. SKYTTEN now opening things as well back over here on Cat as he's going to roll in. He manages to find shox. Now they're on this site. They've got control. And to be honest, Titan, the retake potentiality has gone to very, very small chances now. Scream, along with Existence, were back off. They don't really have a whole lot of utility. They got one smoke and one flash to work with, so that's a little bit of an angle they can use to push out. But with the guns they have, and again, with the economy being in a very unstable position now for the members of Titan, I think it's going to be much more fruitful for them to once again sit back, try and save it if they can. Scream, just barely coming out on top of this encounter versus Kévin to take him down. But saving these rifles and whatnot will not make the worst situation in the world. As I talked about before, letting GreyFace take the lead isn't going to be the worst thing ever, but keeping it close, I think, is still something that they can sort of deal with at this point. Jumping out of the T side, I imagine things are going to get a little bit better here for the members of Titan, just because of the fact that it is a new roster. Good pick up here by SKYTTEN as well. He's going to be able to grab Existence, so down goes the op. No way in hell Scream's going to be able to push forward to grab that, and they even want him to. Scream tries to manage it, but unfortunately Jumpy shuts him down, so no saves at all for Titan as we head into the final round. And in that final round, they're not really going to have anything, so very potentially we could be looking at GreyFace just taking the lead outright here. We'll have to see if there'll be an eco response, which we haven't seen really all that much of it as of yet here. GreyFace have actually done a good job of swinging things back after they initially started off here with a little bit of trouble, but now they're back into this very, very much so. And GreyFace might just have the lead coming off of the T side out. But anyway, to finish off my point from earlier, I do believe that more than likely we should see a much better performance from Titan jumping onto the T side, just because of the fact that the CT side relies on a lot more communication, which can't just be built up overnight. It's not something that transitions itself to every team and is not something that comes just off of the cusp of an individual player. This is something that a whole 5-man roster has to work for over a very long period of time, and you only get by being on a squad for months and months on end here, whereas this GreyFace roster, while I don't know the specifics, obviously again with the name like Team Kappa, which it basically is, I don't think that they've been together for too long. I imagine that they've been plugging together and whatnot, but in terms of working together in an organized team and an organized league, not all that much history, unfortunately. So that CT side, I imagine there's still going to be some problems there that need to be worked out. And even on a map like Dust 2, where that factor probably comes out the least, it's still going to be a shining issue just overall because it affects the CT side as a whole, not just on maps and whatnot. So, as we go into this final round here now, GreyFace starting to press forward over here to get themselves onto the B site. Scream tries to hold off, but BARBARR is going to be able to shut him down right from the get-go. And already, they basically try to take the gambit on hoping it comes day as they go for the 4-man stack there, but it fortunately fails. And now this is more than likely the 8th point being picked up by GreyFace. Jumpy picking up a kill. We've even got one player waiting in suicide over there. That's Kévin. He's going to find a kill over on the shox. As they try to push him, we see one kill picked up by RpK, but that's all he's going to be able to grab at this point now. So BARBARR finished things off. He finds another frag there. And at the end of the day, GreyFace / Team Kappa is going to be leading this matchup, surprisingly, at the end of our first half, 8-7 on Dust 2. I believe this is their map pick. I just want to confirm that really quickly. Yep, this is their map pick, so kind of be expected as they come into this one, and no surprise at all. We didn't really get a chance to talk about that just as of yet, but no surprise at all to see a map like Dust 2 being picked for this team, just for the reasons I was talking about there, with it being a newer roster. Obviously, on harder maps like Train, which is why we saw the hard counter coming up from the members of Titan, basically, and that is going to be a very, very rough map, I imagine, for GreyFace. We'll have to wait and see. But obviously, with this roster being as new as it is, jumping over onto a map like Dust 2 is probably going to be one of the easiest pickups, because you can still play that very pug-style CS, and it still works out great, even in a very high-tier organized match such as this, as you don't have to worry too much about a lot of the strategies and whatnot. So just waiting for the sides to switch up at this point, and as we talk about some of the individual performances here too, kind of top-heavy when you take a look at GreyFace. BARBARR specifically leading his team in a pretty big way here at this point. Down a little bit lower, you've got pauf. We saw some good plays from pauf, but fortunately not all that much at all. A lot of the impact just came out of BARBARR for the most part there, and we saw that working with that op. He did an absolutely fantastic job on this T side. The big problem now is with it relying on it a little bit here, you know, leading by about 7 frags to the next teammate. If this sort of trend will continue back over on the CT side, then they're really going to have to make sure that they can manage that economy very, very well right from the get-go of things by picking up the pistol, and if not, then by getting on that gun run there, it's got to be flawless from that point forward, because if they need such a gun just to make the big impact that is needed in order to win out those rounds, that can become problematic on the CT side, just because you oftentimes don't really have enough money left in your bank if you're trading out very close rounds, which for a large portion of things here, we were seeing fairly close rounds being traded out on both sides. So if Titan, or apologies, if GreyFace on their CT side aren't as clean, then obviously that op may not be able to show its face as often as BARBARR would like, and that's going to weaken the overall impact coming out from GreyFace by a pretty big margin. We'll see, though, as now we are switching sides, and we're going to get live right into things here, folks. Once again, for those of you that are just joining us, this is map number 1 of a possible 3 between GreyFace and Titan. GreyFace currently leads 8-7 here on the first map. That's 2 the pick from GreyFace. So let's get right into the pistol round here on the second half. Already a little bit of damage being traded back out here too, as Wheaton tries to go for some big dinks, but actually manages to hit one of them. Youns gets brought down to about 12 HP at the beginning of this round. So while Titan looked like they were going to put some big presence over here into the tunnels very early on, it gets smoked off, and along with the damage that comes back over onto Youns, it looks like they try to re-solidify themselves back over on mid. The problem is, though, is all their attention is sort of on middle right now to watch out for like a mid-B split, so they didn't really put too much of a presence on long, so Titan are able to just waltz right out onto this. They don't really have any players at all watching that site, so Cat's going to get pushed for free. They're up onto the site. Now, the only thing they have to be worrisome of is the crossfire coming out, so they're going to toss the bomb across just to keep it safe, and in the meantime, RpK is going to be able to pick up a kill over here onto Kabum to take him down. Wheaton was heavily injured. He's sitting down at 7 HP, so RpK is also going to press through those doors once again to finish him off, and look at this! RpK just ripping through everybody. Finally, BARBARR is going to be able to shut him down, but now you've got more coming back in. Jumpy gets the flank back over onto shox, and now this puts it into a 3-on-2, but Scream holds well from within CT, gets 2 nice little shots that are finish off BARBARR, and it's just on Jumpy at this point for the CT side of things. Trying to take over here from Cat, but as they pop back out, Younes sitting at 12 HP, gonna have to be careful, but Younes will be able to jump out. He picks up the kill with some assistance coming in there from Scream, and Titan will immediately tie things up, and will look to retake the lead here now on their T side. And as for GreyFace, they're going to go for their buys here in the second round. We see the upgraded pistols coming out, the Scout over here on Jumpy, and as for the rest of the guys, they're going to buy up armor behind their 5.7s. Adil sitting on to Wheaton, so we'll see how well this goes, as he also picks up a flash. Couple nades behind it, but overall, again, they're going to go for the Gambit play, and it's actually aligning very well. You can see that they're pushing into this one, so we'll see. They might actually be able to hold this off and get another eco off onto these players, as they're going to waltz right into the tunnels at this point, not even expecting them to come in, so they try to open things up. A 1-for-1 trade. shox picks up pauf, but BARBARR trades it back onto shox. He moves out, finds a second kill, but a little bit over peaking this time. His Scream is going to be able to manage him, but Kabum holding tight on his corner. He finds Scream now, jumps up, finds another one onto existence, and now it's just Younes sitting inside of the tunnels. No way to get himself actually out onto this site. And the Gambit play has finally worked out, because now Kabum is even going to upgrade himself over to an AK. Younes is trying to sneak through to see if he can find these kills, almost grabbing Wheaton, but missing the opportunity as he starts to fall back. He does connect a little bit more damage over here onto Kabum as well. Pushing into this is going to be Jumpy, looking for the Scout shot. A touchdown from Younes as he takes out Kabum, but hold on, he might be able to finish this off after all, finding 2 of those frags now as he finishes off Wheaton, but the pop comes out from Jumpy. Not a headshot, though. Younes survives the encounter with 2 HP and clutches it out in the 1-on-3. Now we see GreyFace. They're going to get their apologies. Titan, they're going to get themselves right back into this. They do manage to clutch things out. GreyFace do not upset, and they'll maintain their lead now. They take it, and now they're going to be up 9-8 once again, and unfortunately for GreyFace, a big disappointment having that situation all but managed, and then Younes just walks right out and finishes off everybody, so big play from him. And now for GreyFace, they have to go onto a full eco, which will more than likely break things up to 10 to 8. So we go right out, and again, they're just going to go for a quick B take. Obviously, GreyFace, they'll go for the gambit play, but without the money or the right site choice this time around. Not going to go nearly as well. Existence even waiting for them in middle. They've got them trapped. Bomb's going to get planted, I'm sure, in just a second, but here's Existence just finishing him off 1 by 2 as he takes down 2 of those players. He even gets the intel as to where the final 2 are. Both Wheaton along with Pauf are pushed back a little bit. Wheaton's able to jump himself out, but not sneaky enough as RpK is going to be able to find him, and Scream also took down Pauf just a few seconds ago. So now the 10-8 as we expected. We'll go into the first gun round for GreyFace. See if they can buy up anything big at this point. Unfortunately, BARBARR is not going to get his weapon of choice at the op. Will still get a rifle, which we've seen him work with this one as well without too much trouble. But again, not the heaviest of buys in terms of what we could be seeing coming out from the members of GreyFace. And as for Titan, of course, they are for the most part armed to the teeth here. The members of GreyFace did an okay job, specifically on that second round, of trying to do some damage, trying to keep the money low on the side of Titan. But now as we go into this round, it's going to be the big one to decide whether they are going to be able to continue buying up and continue their aggressive spree, or whether GreyFace are going to be able to strike back here now and try to come back and pick up a 9th point for themselves. But there's going to be Kaboom finding the opening shot. They try to press out through middle, but they're boxed in, unfortunately. So Wheaton is going to be able to pick up 2 more frags here too, both onto Existence and Scream, shutting both of those players down. shox, in the meantime, is going to use this kind of chaos to try and push him up on a cat, but they see this coming from a mile away. BARBARR just shuts it down. He's going to find an additional frag over here onto shox, and now it's just RpK. So GreyFace with a great hold over here by middle. Titan kind of lackadaisically trying to push themselves out there, and they think it's wide open, but that's not the case at all. It's actually very closed here as GreyFace have a tight hold onto this. The smoke comes in, but it doesn't hold them out at all, and as well, the B players are caught onto this very, very early, so now RpK is going to get surrounded. He does pick up 1 killer here over onto BARBARR, but that's only so that Kaboom can jump out and finish them off, and losing one of those players in the long scheme of things is not going to be the worst thing in the world here for the members of GreyFace, as they will be able to pick things up. They'll be able to keep this into a tight scoreline now, bringing it up to 9 to 10. And as for the members of Titan here now, they'll go for another buy. It'll be a little bit light over here as we look at shox, but still able to get him a rifle. And everybody else as well here going to have the AK back, or not the AK, the op back over and onto youns. Everybody else has AKs. And we'll see where they work it from here now. That's obviously going to limit the utility by a pretty big degree, but this also does allow GreyFace to get a little bit more of their own utility now that they make it out of that round. Surviving it with 4 players too is going to be a really great thing, and also if they can win out this second round, not only are they probably going to force an eco round for Titan, but the big thing is going to be BARBARR will probably get that op for free, as I imagine at some point during the round, unless he gets dropped very, very early, somebody will be able to fall back and pick that one back up. So back over here inside of the mid connector, or the long connector area here, shox trying to push back out, but is going to get smoked over here by Pauf, so he does decide to fall back for the time being, watching out for any of that little bit of an extra aggression. But Titan playing a very, very default strat right now as they're going to attempt to be working their way up onto this site. BARBARR will be the one thing here to try and stop it initially, but Molly's going to come in, not going to bounce onto his position as he's just playing safely back over here on the ramp, but they start to jump down. Kaboom doesn't even realize Existence is literally sitting right in front of him. He's jumping up on the garbage pile, but thankfully Kaboom can handle it. Now they're going to press their way onto the site, already getting the plant off of the hands of youns, and RpK managing BARBARR as he takes him down from back over there on the ramp, so that's going to eliminate him. Keep things even, though, as the rest of GreyFace try to work their way back in, and that'll be shox coming back out through middle. They try to stop this rotation to get the members of the CT team on a cat, and it's working out great. shox just shutting him down 1 by 1. Jumpy does finally manage to pick up a trade at the very least, but now he's going to have to fall back once again. It looks like Titan will be striking back here after all. No op being picked up here by BARBARR, as well he's a dead man. And for Jumpy, although he will pick up an additional kill, he's long gone way over here inside of the tunnels. And it should be an easy execution here for RpK to work his way back in and finish him off. We'll see in a second, because Jumpy actually might be able to sleuth his way out of this one and survive with the M4, which is going to be great, because we'll probably still see another save coming out from GreyFace. Yep, they misestimate where exactly his position is. So not only will he have this M4, we could maybe see Pauf buying up one as well, but the rest of the team is in a very unsecure position, so it would actually be pretty amazing if we just saw them try to play it out with 2 rifles. More than likely, the rest of the team is just going to go for a pretty heavy save at this point, and that is exactly what we will be seeing now from the rest of these guys. The Deagle being bought up by Wheaton, and then a P250, actually no P250s, just P2Ks on Kaboom and BARBARR, and then Pauf, of course, working with the 5.7. And for Titan, again, this is another good round to maybe build up the economy a little bit. Jumpy can obviously do a little bit of damage if he can find these frags, but with just that 1 M4 in play, not the best of odds here. No armor behind any of these pistols, I should mention as well, but thankfully they actually, again, go for the gambit play, and it works out, because they're actually going to run right into the big stack here on the members of GreyFace. So there's going to be 1 kill. Jumpy's able to re-execute it there and take things down. Now moving a little bit more of a presence back over here onto long, as that push is going to be a little bit harder to work for, but RpK, now we're going to try to catch some of them. Gets 1 and 2 shots there onto Pauf along to go with Kaboom. Catching a 3rd here as well out of BARBARR as they start to press themselves onto the site. And now Titan sort of retake control of this. I think GreyFace rotated off a little bit too early. They still do have that M4 in play at this point, but as we can see here, Actually are going to get a little over aggressive, so Jumpy is rewarded with another kill. Now he's going to have to make the decision as to whether he goes for it or saves, and quite obviously with him losing his teammate that quickly onto a cat push, he's going to fall back now onto the B site, and we'll make the choice to save instead. So there will be a 12th point now coming out from the members of Titan. GreyFace unfortunately will save this M4 again, maybe, as he is going to get challenged this time. Tries to push forward through the pop flash, but that doesn't pan out very well at all. Existence is going to be able to shut him down. He takes it down, and now that's 12 points onto the board here for Titan now. Something good I should mention here about GreyFace is, obviously, again, even with what's been transpiring here, and this big save from them is going to enable a rebuy. The good thing is that they're keeping the money low. They're not really letting Titan get to a good amount of money stacked up, so they're not at this ludicrous point where every player is sitting on like 7 or 8k, or in even worse of a case, like 10k, as we've seen in some of our previous matchups here. They're not really letting them get to that point as of yet here. And they themselves actually are doing a good job of keeping the money rolling onto the CT side, but they have to be careful here to make sure that stays consistent, because obviously with them themselves losing a lot of these rounds, they're not going to be given a lot of opportunities to go for these buy-ups, so these eco rounds need to ensure that they manage to get as much damage as humanly possible out. Otherwise, Titan's just going to get to an invincibility point, and that might make it too hard for GreyFace to come back, considering they're already down by 3 rounds at this point. Adding an economical disadvantage up on top of that is basically just going to seal the deal in terms of Titan taking this map. But as this round gets started, a 1-for-1 trade is going to begin things here. Pauf along with Existence both falling. Pauf to shox, and Wheaton to Existence, as those kills happen on separate parts of the map. A little bit of a presence going to be made back over here on Katu from BARBARR, and he actually gets just both of those players, both RpK and youns, both going to get traded out there by that. And now all of the offense coming out here from Titan has been all but destroyed. Wheaton jumping up, gets the jumping spray down over onto Scream. shox will find the trade, but now shox is going to be the last player alive. He's caught jumping, and although they do manage to sneak through with the plenty of time left to defuse that bomb, they will now get a double op setup off of the hinges of this one. BARBARR picking one up from one of the down players on Titan. And that's a good strike back for these players to pick up now, because they'll keep themselves in this, and still a very, very close and tight scoreline at this point, 10-12. As we were just talking about the economy of the T side, they've only got really one more buy-up coming out of them, and for some of them it's going to be very, very weak as we take a look at it. Some guns are going to need to be tossed back around here. They'll still be able to go for a buy, but maybe looking at a Tech 9 or a Galil or two here as well for Scream, as he's going to be looking a little bit low. Thankfully there's an AK onto the ground for him, but for shox, what exactly does shox have? Right now, just the Glock. There we go. A little bit trouble trading out the guns. So shox is going to be able to pick up an AK for himself at the end of the day. And the only thing they're going to be missing is this Galil. But in terms of utility, you take a look at this. Not a whole lot. They've actually opted to go for 2 mollies instead of getting a lot more flashes in the mix here, which is not the worst choice in the world, to be honest. If those pop flashes aren't on point, and considering it's Dust 2, obviously they're going to be very predictable anyway. But if those pop flashes are not on point, they're not really going to impact as heavily as, say, a molly could, where it's 100% guaranteed to force reposition if you get it into the right spot. So they're going to work their way out. Quick cap play coming out from these guys, but it's held back by a great counter flash from the members of the CT team. Nonetheless, youns is going to press through it anyway. He picks up a nice headshot over here onto BARBARR, moves in, takes out the player from Goose. There's still one in the pit here, and that's going to be Pauf, but he can't connect any of these shots. As you can see, pretty hard to hit. Does manage to find one over there onto youns, but look at shox. Cheeky as hell. Waits as long as humanly possible to see if he can catch anybody else, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to, because Jumpy did take it slow. But nonetheless, Jumpy will take down one of his teammates. shox. Stream comes back in there, he finds a trade, but Pauf's still alive back over here on long 2. He's going to roll back in, picking up 1, and now this is brought into a 1-on-1 scenario. That Molly's going to come back at it, holds him back. He's going to go right for the diffuse here, and Existence has to take him down. He can't actually see, but he doesn't think he's going for it, and it's good too, because the timer's been brought down so low. That's the pre-press in. He's looking for the headshot, but no, he thinks he's gone, and Pauf is going to be able to ninja it. So, oh no, Existence couldn't see him through the box, I don't think. And because of that, he thought he ran away because the timer had gone so low, but he has a kit, he has everything, and they sneak through with the ninjas. So Existence with that molly and all the presents and the timer getting so low, he thinks he's clear as day, but it's not going to be the case. Existence loses it out. And there's going to be GreyFace sneaking through with another round once again, and it's a good thing too, because now again their money is going to continue to roll. It's going to be a very awkward buy coming out here from Titan now, as they have 3 rifles in the mix. Obviously Existence managing to save most of his arsenal from the previous round, as well as the CZ, along with the Tech 9 coming over here onto RpK and shox respectively. So we'll see what they can work with this one, but GreyFace definitely at this point, while the overall the utility is not looking the best here, in terms of what they have for guns, is still going to look much, much better than what Titan is bringing into the mix this time, but they'll still have to be a little bit cautious here, because again, that money situation hasn't really grown to a safe point for the CTs as of yet either. So 1 round being picked up here by Titan once again can break them, and still allow them to keep their lead, and keep in mind 2 AKs onto both Existence and Scream. We've already seen some fairly large plays coming out from these guys. Scream actually underscoring himself a little bit here as one of the bottom fraggers for the team at this point, but still don't want to underestimate him. And now for GreyFace, they actually pushed themselves off on the side a little bit, but they've got 2 men watching out for this push from Cat. One's gonna come in from long. We've already got BARBARR picking up one here too, but boom. Nice spray control, as he's gonna be able to shut down Youns. And at this point here already, this push has been demolished, so more rotates are going to come back in. RpK takes his time, and thankfully too, because he is going to be able to pick up one of the players here that are naturally defending, but Existence forced into a corner, so none of the CTs had to take a battle. RpK dropped down to 27 HP, as more trying to rework their way in from Cat, and shox having some luck there too, as he works his way back in. Some good training from Existence, but Kabum gets the jumping spray. He's going to be able to find RpK at this point. Existence looking to finish it off. He gets on top of the box and finds that frag. So they retake control, but only 8 seconds left, and the bomb's on the floor. They may not even be able to plant at this point. It gets tossed up there, but oh no! Nobody's up there to support. I think he missed the toss, too. Did he actually get it up there? Where's the bomb? Alright, I can't see the bomb, but I'm only assuming. I think he picked it back up when he missed the toss, but the bomb's gonna get tossed up there, and oh, that's gonna suck, because now they're gonna run out of time to plant, and once again, we'll see the CTs squeak through with another round where, to be completely honest, they, they probably shouldn't have done so. So, with 2 rounds being slipped up by, basically, if this were baseball, we'd add errors onto the scoreboard, but this is not. But 2 rounds where errors would have been added on. Now we're gonna see if we get back to a more of a normal round here, as GreyFace actually leading by a pretty big margin at this point in terms of the economy. Titan still haven't not saved as of yet here in Existence, still keeping this rifle in play, but this time they just go right for a takeover on Cat, so they're gonna be able to pick that back up. And now for GreyFace once again being reduced down. Wheaton will drop the bomb carrier, but it's picked back up over here by Scream as it's in a maintainable position. So they're going to be able to plant the bomb at this point. Both Wheaton and Jumpy, they are going to look to retake this now as they rework their way back into here. But that Maw is going to get tossed onto the platform. Actually, oh, it's going to burn Scream alive. So that's going to finish him back off as it takes him down. Now Wheaton starting to press forward. shox does find the kills. He gets himself onto the flag, and unfortunately for Wheaton, he's going to be left wide into the open. So there's Titan. They're going to pick up another round. They bring it up to 13 points. And now, finally, they can force an economy round over here onto the members of GreyFace. Their money's not in too good of a spot, and they're going to lose a lead just as they are about to reclaim it too, which is very unfortunate. They get themselves up to tie at 12 points, and off of the hinges of 2 very big mistakes from the members of Titan, but now that's finally going to dissipate. And for Titan at this point, they are going to be much so in the lead. They're still looking at a little bit more of an awkward round. Those guns have to get tossed all over the place so that everybody can afford what they need to, but for GreyFace, they're completely broken and they're on default guns, so obviously a pretty big difference there in that respect. And Youns armed up with the op once again here as well, so we'll see if they can just come out through with this one, finish it off, and bring themselves up to 14 points ahead in what could probably be the final gun round. RpK and shox gonna find the first 2 frags here as they take down both Jumpy and Kabum. Existence trying to work his way out, looking for that player inside a pit. He's gonna find the one that pushes out from long first, but they know that pauf is sitting in there in pit, and it's just an effort to move it in, finish him off. They're gonna find it, and as well, they finish off Wheaton in the process. So both of those guys are gonna fall. Titan now up to 14 points. We'll see the buy coming out from GreyFace probably in this round. It's actually not the most solid buys. You'll take a look at things here. Sitting at 3,200 for BARBARR, so that's really all he's going to be able to pick up is that rifle, along with a smoke or 2. And it's 4 FAMASs, 1 M4 onto Wheaton, and Titan, if they don't come through with this round, that is going to hurt in a pretty big margin because of the fact that, again, you just look, they don't really have a whole lot to offer this time. Titan should be able to easily walk over this one, but shox, he's going to mess up that spray at the beginning, so BARBARR is going to find the kill. While pushing out, Existence is going to look to find the trade here as he was only brought down to 13 HP, so he's very, very low, very, very vulnerable indeed, but Existence does have to press back a little bit here. He does it to give him some room as he can initially find him, and it's going to be risky to press it any further than that because he could be sitting inside the smoke, he could be hiding in the corner. Far too many variables in play at this point in terms of where BARBARR could be, so it's not worth it to press out and try to trade out a kill for another death. So now the rest of these guys, they're going to press through middle here. Scream trying to take a little bit of duel with Wheaton, but aiming a little bit too high, so not going to be able to find him. In the meantime, Jumpy finishing off one as well, but there's Scream grabbing the first kill now this time for the members of Titan. And as the members of GreyFace here try to rotate in time, they're almost going to be able to catch things, but Scream pops right back out there, catches the one tap to shut down Kabum. And just like that now, they're backing into a 3-on-3. Damage hitting both of these teams pretty hard at this point. Jumpy down to 65, BARBARR still 13 HP, Scream down to 31, and Youns is 62. So both these teams are a little bit vulnerable in terms of some of their player counts. BARBARR back over on the A side is the only defender at this point. A great flick from Youns is going to be able to finish down BARBARR. Now they're working their way onto this A side to get the plant, but the rotation's coming in swiftly. You've got one working his way up over here onto the platform coming in through Cat, and Jumpy coming through CT as well, but there's going to be Existence. He picks one up over onto Jumpy, and now it's all in the hands of pauf to try and clutch this out, but he's got no presence. Thankfully, he's dropped the bomb at least, so if he can drop the bomb here, he might have a chance. Finds one, but Existence is there for the trading angle, so he's going to be able to clutch it out, and the one player left alive brings Titan up to 15 points. The money for GreyFace is completely gone. And with this in play, this should be the end of it. We'll see the full buyout coming out from GreyFace, obviously, as they're going to be able to go for 5-7s for the most part. Good amount of utility sitting behind it, but if these 5-7s don't lock onto the heads of Titan, then Titan will be able to just waltz right through this round, pick things up, and they'll take map number 1, but a very, very close scoreline, very satisfying one for GreyFace, and again, all things considered, this is still a great map for the members of GreyFace with what you consider as your kind of predictions coming into this matchup. I don't think people, again, were expecting GreyFace to do so well on this map. It's miraculous they can put up this many rounds against Titan. Granted, they have a fill-in, but still. Now, for GreyFace, we'll have to see if they can fend off this final push from Titan as they just line up for the time being, working their way up on a cat, and shox as well, going to try to push his way out towards long. There's that smoke over on the left side, and BARBARR is sitting behind it, so shox does not check it. That'll be a kill. Picks up one shot, but not the head. So shox is going to be able to fall back. Now he realizes he's here, and he's going to give him a little bit more room. So the long push will be held back, but still plenty of time left to try and retake it. And however, they are just going to move back over here towards the middle instead. So shox will regroup with the rest of his team. Going to push himself over towards the mid doors for right now to watch out for a press from there, but won't be finding anything. Titan all just sitting as one big clump, essentially, waiting for their time to try and push in. They won't have a long angle to move in from, so obviously we'll be seeing BARBARR acting as a little bit more of a reinforcement. With those 2 players on site, now 3, they have predicted this push pretty nicely. Now it's about finding those headshots here. Wait is going to be first to be tested. He does manage to bring one of the players, Younes, down to just 3 HP. And kaboom, picking up 2 headshots in a row. Both Scream and RpK. Both are going to go down due to this one. Existence trying to look for a way back in. He's going to pick up 1 headshot on a Wheaton, looking for another one. But Jumpy picking up a headshot as well as he finishes off shox. Now it's down to just 2 players left alive here for the T side. And they have to keep in mind that BARBARR's still alive there along too. He picks up 1 kill. Existence trades him back out, but it's just on Existence now. He's going to work his way in, but he jumps up too heavily. Only gets 1 more. And kaboom, trades it back out. 3 free AKs come out for the members of GreyFace, and they're still in this matchup. So now for Titan, they'll go for the buys. Money's going to be very, very low indeed, but we'll see how well things go now, as shox is actually going to be reduced down to a Tech 9. GreyFace keep themselves in this. They'll go for another buyout themselves. Only 2 rifles need to be purchased up. The op back over onto BARBARR as well, which is the big key thing. Haven't really seen him working it so much over here on the CT side, just as much on the T side, mainly due to the fact that he hasn't been able to grab it. But again, combat's going to get started. shox pops out through long. He's going to find a kill with the Tech 9. kaboom will trade it back out over onto shox. And now RpK looking for one from the tunnels too. He's going to find things over onto Jumpy to finish it off. The rest of these players, Scream's going to try to find his way through the mid doors at this point. He's going to get himself into a battle, which GreyFace will come out on top of. Wheaton's going to finish that off. That evens out the equation once again, but Existence nice and patient. We'll wait for a press to come through those mid doors. Wheaton might try to oblige in a second here, but he does decide to hold back. However, the big problem is that the rotation is completely off here for the members of GreyFace. They're moving themselves over towards the B site, but Titan have already taken full control of it for the time being. So Younes, he's going to get himself here, gets the plan off. RpK presses forward, gets the kill through the smoke on Wheaton after he starts firing things off there. BARBARR looking for a way to get in through window, as is going to be kaboom, but this is just not looking so well. They've got 3 flashes for the entire team to work with, not using any of them though. Younes gets that shot through the smoke, not going to kill him, but it might as well have. RpK finding 1, and now it's all off of the hinges of kaboom at this point. Working for a 1-on-3 as 1 player heavily lit. RpK down to 34 HP as well, looking for him, but he can't find him. He's got nothing left, but he can't save. He has to go in for this one. He's going to get Existence through the smoke, but now he's going to go in. No time left, and Younes holding that door angle is going to be able to shut him down. So the final score of our first map, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be 16-13 in the favor of Titan. A great pickup here for the members of GreyFace, but not enough. And that's going to put the members of Titan here at 1-0. We'll head on to our second map in just a few minutes, which is going to be over on Train, so be sure to stick around for that, and we'll come back to you guys in just a few moments here with more of the StarLadder StarSeries Season 14 presented by iLeague. Once again, this is Titan versus GreyFace, map number 2 coming up in just a few moments right here on Twitch.